We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next. Today on an all-new Daily Helpline, let's welcome Tony Award-winning actress Marissa Winokur.
My weight fluctuates 80 pounds, down 50, up 30, down 20.
Just cut that crap and let's go right to your heart.
I just feel so bad.
Who hurt you? Hello and welcome to the Daily Helpline. I'm Miles Edcox.
And I'm Spirit, and I don't think that there's a person in the world who wouldn't benefit from a good piece of advice. Is there? Well, Miles and I have got you covered. And we have a very special guest joining us today to share some of her own life experiences. Let's welcome Tony Award-winning actress Marissa Winokur. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you. Have a seat.
Hello, hello.
I am a huge fan. Can I just say that? I have been a fan since like your Hairspray days.
Oh, those fabulous days. I actually just spoke at a kid's high school. They were doing Hairspray, and I was like, oh my God, some of you weren't born when I did Hairspray, but it's okay, they're still doing Hairspray, so that's all that matters.
Well, one of the things that we know, and I'm so glad to have you here today, because even though life is wonderful and great, I mean, everything about life isn't always wonderful and great for all of us, right?
Absolutely.
And so there's been a lot of struggles in your life, even with everything else that's been wonderful, correct?
Yeah, no, I'm a cancer survivor. I'm 13 years cancer-free now. Yeah, which is way more impressive than winning a Tony Award. I mean, and I have a 5-year-old son who's turning 6, and I had him through a surrogate. I wasn't able to carry my own child because of the cancer, but you know, I think you have to, I mean, I went to therapy, I got help. When you need help, you need to get help.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we are so glad that you're joining us, and we've got some people here that really need your help today, okay?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about our first guest, okay, Stacy. Now, Stacy is 54 years old. She's a self-proclaimed food addict. And so this is a really tough one. She's come to us today really wanting some help. And I tell you, when I read her story, it brought me to tears. It really did. So let's take a look.
My name's Stacy, and I have reached out because I'm a food addict. I'm hungry because I'm celebrating. I'm hungry because I'm sad. I'm hungry because I'm lonely. I have 2 master's degrees and have a beautiful, healthy child, own a beautiful home. I can't seem to get it together. I am at a complete loss. I really need help. I'm sick and tired of my weight issue. I'm sick and tired of having to take extra time in the morning. Dating situations, men would maybe say she's, pretty, but no, I don't like, fat chicks. Going to Florida to visit family and worrying about whether I'll fit in the airplane seat. Inside, every moment I'm looking at, somebody else and thinking, oh, I wish I could be thin like them, or, yeah, so emotionally, it certainly has taken its toll. It is absolutely my nightmare that my daughter will have to suffer with weight her whole life, as I did. I am a sneak eater. The average person might eat, 2 pieces, 3 pieces of licorice. I'll just continue eating till I've eaten the entire bag. It has to be something that's coming over me that, that just makes me destroy myself with food. I'm getting a little emotional because I've done everything. I'm sorry, I feel embarrassed. And I really need them to do whatever they can to help me so I can leave this part and then have happiness.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What was it like to watch that?
It's sad that that's the situation and that it's brought me here. I'm disciplined in every area of my life. Why can't I get it together with my food?
So why can't you get it together?
It's certainly not an intellectual thing, because I know I shouldn't be eating. I know it's destroying me. I know it's unhealthy. I don't know.
When you say destroying, that's a strong word.
Yes.
So what does it feel like? Tell me, you say destroy. Tell us what that looks like. Paint that picture for us.
Sure. Well, it's destroying me on many levels. Physically, my knees are giving out. Emotionally, I don't feel good about myself physically. It makes everything much harder, more of a challenge. And it's just like a monkey on my back every day.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about the other piece, though, the part where it feels good, the part that it feeds you. And I don't just mean the food piece of it.
Well, do you mean that it's taken on a life of its own? And obviously staying in an addiction or with a problem must have some benefits. Or maybe it just is, it overcomes me and I can't do anything. I don't know. I've certainly spent years and years trying in almost everything. And again, this is where I'm at.
You mentioned a specific phrase that stood out for us. You said, I'm a sneak eater.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, when I'm with people, I don't overeat generally. So it's when I'm by myself. And it's for a multitude of reasons. Happy, sad, lonely, you know, anything.
Definitely a sneak eater.
Anything, yeah.
I say that the calories don't count if if no one can see them, they don't count. I definitely know your story. I live your story daily. My weight fluctuates, 80 pounds, down 50, up 30, down 20. It's a constant battle for me.
There are 20 million women in this country that, and 10 million men that at some point in their life will deal with a clinical eating disorder. And that's not even the ones, those are the ones that we, and it's very underfunded. There's a lot we don't know about. We know 1 in 5 girls deals with body image and food issues.
Yes.
So it is important to know that you're not alone. Right. You're absolutely not alone. But I'm already seeing something that I think may get in your way in the short time that we have together.
Oh.
It's when you started telling us about your process instead of feeling it. You got up here and you started smiling.
Yeah.
And you were talking about pain with a smile on your face. And I would say that's your coping skill. That's probably what you've survived with. It won't serve you here. It hasn't served you in your life. So let's just take that piece and let's go right to your heart. And let's hear how this pain has impacted you, because that's the only way we're going to get to it.
And I certainly can do that. I think you're onto something, because I think I eat away all my feelings, and I'm more in my head cerebral than I am in my emotions. But I can get incredibly emotional about it because, you know, it's just heartbreaking for me. I can't believe that I'm doing this. It's like self-destruct. And I just feel so bad about myself. I don't want to do this, but I feel compelled for some reason to eat the wrong thing, make the wrong choice, sneak eat. And then of course it just starts, maybe I'm used to feeling bad, and so I'm self-medicating. I just don't know, but it just feels awful. And then, of course, I feel, you know, bad, and then maybe I'll eat because I feel bad, and it's a cyclical thing, and it's just, I can't get out of it. And I go up and down, and now I'm quite up, and it just has quite an impact.
What have you done to try to lose the weight
Everything.
thus far?
I've tried everything, every diet. I mean, just on and off, everything.
And she still says it with a smile.
Well, you know, it is what it is, and I've learned to cope.
You mentioned to our producers that perhaps your overeating has something to do with your mother.
When I was a kid, treats and unhealthy food were pretty much forbidden. And so I really think that's, as I said, what led to my sneaking.
And didn't she send you to a camp?
At 8 years old, I went to sleepaway camp, and it was for losing weight. Yes. So I got a message early on that I wasn't okay. And I became my weight, my successes and my losses. And it really ate at me. And it really, I think, stopped my forming truly of who I was, because I was a weight issue.
So I think we're hitting on something now.
There it is. There it is. So tell us who you believe yourself to be.
Well, as I also said, I almost am split, because I feel very powerful and very satisfied and pleased with myself in one area, but as far as this goes, I feel, you know, very low and terrible. So it's a dichotomy. I've succeeded in all my goals and what I've wanted, but in this area, I just can't get it together. And this, of course, erodes and overshadows and gets in the way.
What worked for me, I have done every diet. I've met every person. I've gone to the fat camps. I've done them all. And none of that worked. And the success for me was changing my mantra into, I have to be here for my son. I have to be here for my son. And it's, I mean, and I know having a daughter, and I am very careful with him, and I'm sure with your daughter, I'd love to talk about that, but with my, like for me, the success for me was, there's no trick, there's no quick fix. it's calories in, calories out, calories in, calories out. For me, it was, I have to somehow just put in my mind, it's about health, it's about health, it's about health. It's not about looking great. And I feel like, I don't know, how do you, with your daughter, how do you like deal with, how old's your daughter?
She's 10 and a half.
And do you see anything like, do you see symptoms in her of like, oh, maybe she doesn't like the way you look, or, because I felt like that with my son a little, like, oh, am I the fat mom? I don't want to be the fat mom, and those sort of things. And like I let him have all the snacks he wants because I don't want to ever deprive him so that he becomes an overeater. Like do you find that you do different things than your mom did?
Well, I swore that when I had a child,
Right.
I would have food, and unhealthy food,
Right.
so it's not forbidden and she can have
Right.
some, but within reason.
Right.
So, that's one thing I have done. I feel that I don't want to be that fat mom at the soccer games and whatnot. I don't feel she's embarrassed of me because I try to look presentable and dress well, but I don't want her following my footsteps, and I don't want her to be unhealthy. And I could see some indications, here and there.
It's really not about the food.
Not at all.
It's not about the weight. There's a message that you downloaded even before that of not being enough. And when you were talking about, that's when you really got emotional. Is there's a part of you that I think if you were to lose all this weight tomorrow, I'm not sure that you'd still be enough.
Yeah.
So how do we fix that?
How do we fix that?
How do we fix that?
Well, you've got the first step out of the way. We needed to define what it was, and you've admitted that you've had a problem. And I think the cycle that you've been in is you admit you have a problem, you seek help,
Yes.
and the help doesn't work.
Yes.
So you go back in front of not even having a problem, and then you get stuck in 1 and 2.
Yes.
And then what most people do when they try to get help with weight issues is they want to admit they have a problem and then jump down to building a meaningful life.
Right.
Building a meaningful life is a big part of this process, but it can't come before getting help and getting accountability and support. That's
Support is
incredibly
key.
important.
Support will be key for you.
Because what we've got to do for you is change this mantra from when this fear comes up of you not being enough, it can't, instead of shutting you down, we want it to wake you up. We want to embrace the fear so that you can use it as encouragement to push through this pain. And you've showed up in a really good way, but I feel like we've kind of scratched the surface on what it is that you need. And we don't want to just leave you hanging. And we don't want to do that because we know the problem is deeper. And so we've reached out to somebody who is one of the best at the best in this. And she has been willing to come and help you. And Dr. Carolyn Ross is a nationally known author, speaker, and expert in the field of eating disorders, addictions, and integrative medicine. And she is the author of 3 books, the latest of which is the Binge Eating and Compulsive Overeating Workbook. She currently has a private practice treating eating disorders and addictions, and she also runs a lifestyle and weight management program. And she is willing to see you and work with you.
How wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
The last question is yours, because this is the most important question. We can give this to you, and if you don't do anything with it, you're wasting ours and your time.
Absolutely.
Are you willing to follow through and accept this?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much.
I believe you can do it. We believe you can do
so
it.
much. Thank you.
Good job.
There's more when we come back. Stick around. Thank you so much. Coming up.
I mean, trying to change your family is like trying to hug a cactus.
Ouch.
It's gonna hurt, and you're not gonna want to do it anymore.
We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next.